Saudi Arabia gave big shock to Muslims before 2025 Ramadan. What did Saudi Arabia do? Let's find out.
Alaikum, brothers and sisters.
Walaikum salam
I hope you're
rahmatullahi
well.
barakatuh.
Saudi
Alhamdulillah.
Arabia has taken a startling step, shocking thousands of pilgrims
How so?
who had planned to perform Umrah during Ramadan.
Discount
While many
or
pilgrims are outraged over the current announcement, others rejoice and are pleased. Let us know about the Saudi government's decision right before Ramadan that divided pilgrims into two categories. Saudi Arabia has said that there will be no live streaming or filming inside mosques during the holy month of Ramadan. This is to protect the sanctity of the month and the mosques that people would visit during this time. Before the month
of something very important, yeah? So if we as Muslims, we are doing good deeds, we should always do it for the sake of Allah and not for others. If you're doing Umrah or Hajj and you're only doing it for your Instagram account, for social media to just show off, oh, I'm rich, I can afford it and you can't, ha 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 ha. Look, I'm a good Muslim, I go there and there. Like, you do know that your deeds are actually invalid, right? Because you have to do it for the sake of Allah. You can't do it to show off. Like, you want the full reward, right? Like, do you want the reward for the Umrah, the Hajj, then do it for the sake of Allah and to not be a show off to others? Like, that's the wrong intention.
Month of Ramadan starts in Saudi Arabia, the Ministry of Islamic Affairs Call and Guidance released new rules that say cameras can't be used in mosques to record the imam and worshippers during prayers, even the Taraweeh prayers.
Wonderful.
According to the Saudi press agency SPA, the ministry has also outlawed the transmission or broadcasting of prayers via any media channel. As the blessed month of Ramadan approaches, millions of Muslims from across the globe make their way to Mecca to perform Umrah. It is an opportunity like no other, as performing Umrah in Ramadan is equal in reward to Hajj. Ibn Abbas reported, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, verily, the Umrah pilgrimage during Ramadan is equal to Hajj. But in today's digital age, this sacred journey has, for many, turned into a social media event rather than a purely spiritual one. Pilgrims are seen recording videos.
This is the same with like nikahs these days, right? Like back in the day, if you look at like how nikahs were done, and if a brother and a sister, they just got married, right? Like they would of course show this to their family, and it is sunnah to make it public, but it's not a sunnah to show off your wife on social media. I married a beautiful woman, this and that. Like, why would you even show as a guy your wife off on social media? Are you a dayuth or what? Like this is the thing, right? Like a lot of people these days have become like fashion Muslims, unfortunately. May Allah guide us all and keep us on the straight path. I mean, but you see this so often, how people are showing off every accomplishment in Islam that they have done, and it is not to give people a nasiha or to teach them a lesson or share knowledge. Like, there's totally nothing wrong with like giving lectures online if you do have the knowledge, right? You have to of course have the knowledge, otherwise like you mislead people. But if you do have something positive to share on social media, or a way to can give, like, to either teach or give dawah to others, like, do it. You get like a lot of hasanat from it, right? Like, you can earn hasanat online, of course, but you have to do it with the right intention, and there needs to be a goal on why you're doing it, right? If your goal by uploading a video of you doing like Umrah is to just show that you are an accomplished Muslim, and like, oh look, I did this and that, I earn a lot, I can afford it, I can do this, I can do that, like, you're just a show off, and you're actually making your deeds invalid, because you have to do something for the sake of Allah, or it is a wasted deed, right? Now, if you do deeds for others, it is crazy. You know, it's like scary, and there's a hadith about this, and our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam once said in a hadith that there's a type of person that is even entering the hellfire, and this is something you have to think about, right? That died as a shaheed. Why is this person going to hellfire? Because this person died not for the sake of Allah, but to be glorified and praised by people. So imagine this, like a shaheed that dies with the wrong intention goes to hellfire. So this is what also, like, from this hadith we learn something very important, that our deed should always be done for the sake of Allah, not for others. Like why are you doing this? Like, when you upload a picture of you doing Umrah, why are you doing this? Are you doing this to bring people closer to Allah? Or are you doing this because you want people to be jealous at you, and you want to get praised, you want evil eye, or what? Like, what do you want from this, right? Like, this is something you as an individual have to ask yourself before you upload something, is there any benefit for others in it or not? Like, why are you showing off?
Videos, making reels, and even live streaming their Umrah experience for their followers. While it may seem harmless at first, the truth is this behavior takes away the sincerity of worship. Instead of focusing on their connection with Allah, many become preoccupied with angles, captions, and social media engagement. What was meant to be a journey of spiritual purification and devotion
It's like
has,
social media
for some,
wars.
become
Who is
a
better?
means of gaining likes, views, and followers. Many people have questioned and even criticized this decision, but it is unquestionably a positive step for the pilgrims. This step will assist worshippers
protects
and
the
even
privacy.
imams in maintaining focus and avoiding distractions. When people around you film videos, your focus automatically shifts away from your personal ibadah.
yeah.
Regardless of how much they try, imams are constantly influenced by the availability of recording material
You have a
around
corrupt
them. Their
intention
emphasis
then.
on preaching and performing imamat for Allah transfers to doing so for the camera. Absence
Exactly.
of such items that may cause distractions can also make one's worship remain sincere and free from the element of showing off.
And you don't know if there's also like this, like imagine you're doing this with your wife, right? And then people make videos and then they upload it. That means your wife is now on social media as well and stuff, right? For example. Like yeah, some people, they just don't want to be on the internet. They don't want to be on camera. They don't want to be filmed. And as a Muslim, you have to also respect your brothers and sisters that don't want to be on the camera, right? Like, what if a brother says, don't film my wife, don't upload this? Like, you have to respect your brother. Like, what the heck?
Free from the element
That
of
everyone
showing
wants
off.
to
And
be
most
shown on
importantly,
social
prohibition of such activities will ensure that Umrah in Ramadan remains an act of sincere devotion and not a social media
Yeah, not
trend.
social media
Islam
wars.
teaches us that our ibadah should be solely for the sake of Allah. When we start sharing every
Exactly.
aspect of our worship online, we risk turning it into a performance rather than a sincere act of submission.
Yeah.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, "So woe to those who pray but who are heedless in their prayer, those who
yeah.
do good deeds only to be seen by people." Without distractions, pilgrims can engage in deep reflection, dhikr, and heartfelt dua. Masjid al-Haram and Masjid al-Nabawi, in fact, all mosques are places of peace, devotion, and humility, not for live streaming or broadcasting. This decision taken by the Saudi government is worth appreciating and will certainly help people ensure their intentions remain pure. This approach would undoubtedly annoy many individuals as they enjoy live streaming and uploading such recordings to their social media feeds. They enjoy sharing their experience of being inside mosques and completing Umrah since they are overwhelmed by it. We live in a digital age and everyone wants to share whatever they encounter, whether
Let me ask you a question, guys. So for those of you that actually plan on filming their Umrah or Hajj or any accomplishments, right? Like, are you doing this also like some people, I understand this angle of you, where some people actually want to capture a memory, right? And they want to go back and look at the picture and then they know, oh, I did this and this in year so and so. And they maybe want to show it to like their relatives or their children in the future or something, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with capturing something for personal use, right? Like memories, right? To show to your relatives or something. Not to show off, but because you want to actually tell them about your life, right? Or your children. Like, maybe this can encourage them to do the same when they grow up or something. Like, this is different, right? This is done not for the sake of Allah then, but for your personal thing, but not to show off, right? Like, this is different because you don't upload it to show it like and brag in public, because you have this on your phone but you don't upload it on social media. And then when you sit together with your family or your kids, you take out your phone and then you show them, oh look, 5 years ago I did Hajj or Umrah or something, right? This is different. Why? Because this is a private memory that you don't brag about, right? So this is a different level than if you upload it because you want the likes, you want the following, you want the praise, you want the jealousy of others, right? Because this is bragging. Like, there are deeds, even though they don't give you really a reward, but they don't actually make you look like arrogant even, right? Because arrogance, like, think about it, right? Like, arrogance is such a big thing. This is the reason why Iblis actually was kicked out of Jannah. Like, imagine this. Arrogance is one of the worst traits, and if someone has arrogance, the person can't even enter Jannah. So be careful to not become arrogant because of your accomplishments in life and think, oh, I'm something better because I did this, I did Umrah. We have to be very careful about it and always think about the story of Iblis, right? And his arrogance, how he did not want to bow on Allah's command to Adam alayhi salam and stuff. Like, he was the first racist. He was the most arrogant in this moment. Like, it's crazy. May Allah always protect us from this. I mean,
Share whatever they encounter, whether it's good food, a great trip to a new destination, or even their personal lives. However, the true essence of Umrah in Ramadan is not about how many people see it. It is about how Allah sees it. Rather than filming every moment, let's take this as an opportunity to immerse ourselves in the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, without distractions, without social media, and without need for validation from others. After all, the biggest reward comes not from the number of views we get, but from the acceptance of our ibadah by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What do you think about this decision? Do you agree with the Saudi government's move? Share your thoughts in the comments below. May Allah protect our worship from all the distractions.
Ameen.
May Allah make us among those who dedicate our worship entirely for Allah alone.
Ameen. Yo. But this has become such a bad trend, right? Where like people literally show off everything. They show off their nikah, and then you have sisters brag about their mahr, like how much they got, right? And you have people show off with Umrah, with Hajj. Some people even that study Islam, may Allah protect us from this too, I mean, they actually show off their certificate. They upload it and say, look, I graduated from Medina or from there and there, or now I'm Quran Hafiz. Like, did you become Quran Hafiz and learn the Quran by heart for Allah? Or for people to praise you because now they can praise you and say, oh, you've learned the Quran by heart. Like, you even mentioned this in the Quran that your prayers, like this is actually nice what was mentioned before in this ayah, right? Like how your prayers are invalid if they are not for Allah, right? Like if you just pray so people see you and praise you, like what is this? Like, oh, this brother is so good, he wakes up for Fajr and he goes to the masjid. But he doesn't go to the masjid for Allah, he goes so he's seen by the people. Of course it's invalid, right? That's the wrong niyyah, the wrong intention. So we always need to double check our intention, and if you want like the full reward or even any reward, because if you don't do it for Allah, of course it's wasted, but always check your intention before you do something. And what I said earlier, like also respect people's privacy. And there are some brothers that don't want their wives to appear online. You have to respect that too. Like so some brothers are upset because they know someone and then they go with that person to Umrah and they maybe even told the person, don't film my wife. And then they actually film the wife and upload it on their social media or something. Like there have been arguments and fights between brothers even about such things. So respect people's privacy as well, right? So if you do something, do it only for the sake of Allah. And yeah, this is actually good what Saudi Arabia did. Did I agree with them? I think this is really the right thing to do. Like Allahumma barik, mashallah. And yeah, if you guys are new to this channel, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more content. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give this one a thumbs up. And I will see you guys next time, inshallah.